I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now, what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
Oh, give me fucking truth, baby. Come on. Let's go.
How have I been this successful in life?
Speaking of which, congrats, Lance, new job. He's a big cheese, which is why he's no longer here, ladies and gentlemen. But we are here. We're back. That's right. That's how it works in America, right?
Praise his Lord and Savior.
This is the MMA analysis. The three-headed monster here with you tonight. I'm just looking to buy my UFC 315 tickets. But I think I'm going to wait a little while longer because there's so many available that I've just got my pick of the litter. Also, if you've looked at the map, the prices, it's a celebration for the folks in Montreal. Lovely city, worth going to visit. Probably not worth going to visit specifically for this UFC card, though. We'll get to that in a while.
Not at that price.
Sean.
We are losing Brad.
Very.
Yeah,
Brad, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Your internet is struggling a bit tonight, but the sound's good. It's just late, and I don't know, but I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. The dad life is. The stay-at-home dad life is coming to a close soon, so that's sad. I gotta go back to work, but yeah, it's a great time of year. My team finally won a game one, so that's quite enjoyable. They like to make it difficult on themselves, even when they win game one. They still make it difficult, so they like giving me ulcers. But maybe this team's got something. We'll see.
Wesley, how you doing? We didn't see you last week.
Doing good. Yeah, the sports puck and ball playoffs have been pretty fucking outstanding. Yeah, and we're talking about the tickets in Montreal and stuff. And last time we went out to Vegas a couple years ago, I can't even remember who the main event was, but it was like a fight night card. It wasn't a pay-per-view card or nothing. And like the literal last row and out in Vegas, the indoor place out there, the last row in like the nosebleed seats was like $600 a ticket. It's like, these people are just they're pricing themselves out. At some point they're gonna price themselves out, and it's like for years now it's all been the UFC brand, the UFC name, and you've had a couple stars. You've had Connor, maybe Bones. Like they have no real stars anymore whatsoever. And it's all been like you buy the brand, you buy the UFC, you're watching the best, and it's just not necessarily the best you're getting anymore. And tickets are $600 for some nosebleeds. I mean, when we first started like meeting up, over a decade ago, and we would go to the fight night cards in Nashville and stuff like that, you could get floor seats to those Nashville cards for $125, $150 tops. And now like floor seats
that would be the appeal of the fight night as opposed to a pay-per-view, right? When
they came to Louisville, a few months back, the one I went to, floor seats to that fight night card, which was pretty bad. It was like a pretty shitty card. They were $1,500 for fucking floor seats to a fight night card in Louisville. Like they're just they're gonna get to a point where they start pricing themselves out, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens Saturday. It might be the first one. Maybe this is just a one-off. But
they're gonna slash them tickets. Usually a couple of days before they'll start like ticket prices are gonna get cut heavily. Like
if you're in the city of Montreal,
last minute,
like follow the UFC on social media, and you'll get some free tickets somewhere.
Imagine all the tickets. Yeah. Imagine what their social media pages are going to be giving out, like fight day out on the street and shit. They'll be doing meet us here. Like they used to do that shit from time to time when shit wasn't selling real good. Like, meet us here. We got 4 pairs of tickets, you know.
Yes, sir. Hopefully the internet is a bit better on my side now. I turned some shit off.
Looks good.
The wife's on the TikTok and watching stuff. It's horrible. Anyway, we had fights last week. We were in Iowa.
Des Moines,
Iowa. Des Moines, Iowa, which I hear is the Montreal of Iowa. So if you were at that one, you've practically seen the city of Montreal anyway. Cory Sandhagen, Davison Figueiredo, main event. I'm sure it was a record-setting gate and all of that stuff for the state of Iowa or whatever bullshit they want to claim these days.
Every time.
But main event, Cory Sandhagen, the stoppage was due to an injury, but he was beating Davison Figueiredo's ass prior to that. Just a big dude beating up a little dude. It kind of feels like racism. Sean?
Yeah, like Figgy with how he's fighting now up a weight class, once he gets to anything, pretty good, when it comes to the rankings, he's going to struggle. Like Sandhagen's an okay grappler, but we have seen him taken down by good actual bantamweights, and Figgy that's on him. He's old now. He's relying more on his grappling, and that's not going to cut it against the elite of the bantamweights. So obviously we had Figgy in the round robins, which was a poor choice on our part.
Hey, it was still live at that point, so
that was destruction by Sandhagen. So, I don't know. It's Figgy's kind of in a tough spot because obviously he's kind of a tweener in the weight class. He had so many exciting fights at 25 when he actually made 25, but I don't know. At his age, it's kind of tough at this point.
Wesley.
I think Sean hit on it with at this point Figgy's age and stuff. When he does hit those upper guys in this weight class that are just gonna have size on him and stuff, his grappling's not gonna work as good. He's like relying on literal one shot power now and trying to hit guys with something big.
But he doesn't even throw anymore. It's wild.
Rarely throws it. Even if when he does, like, it's not gonna have the same effect. I mean, his power carried up a little bit, but these dudes are iron, man. Guys like Sandhagen and Peter Yan and all these guys, like they got iron chins, man. That one shot shit just usually isn't gonna work, and you're not gonna out grapple him. And Figgy's what, like 37, 38 now. I mean, I get that he had to move up. Like it just wasn't nothing left down at the other weight class, but
yeah,
it wasn't a good career move overall. He just isn't it at this weight class. Yeah, he's gonna beat dudes, fringe top 10 guys. He's still that good, but he's got nothing on these guys. And then like Sandhagen looked good. He did what he had to do. Like there's fights for Sandhagen, man. That dude is still very entertaining and stuff. And I still think his game is getting better. Like he's gonna have He's going to have a second time around against some guys here coming up that he's lost to and had close fights with on the come up. And I'm very interested to see how they go the second time around. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to have what it takes to be, Marab with his wrestling and stuff like that. But there's interesting scraps against guys like O'Malley and Peter Yan and stuff like that. Like Sandhagen could have success against those guys. So like he's probably going to fight for a title again in the very near future, I would imagine.
You talking about former champion Sean O'Malley?
Oh God.
He's got to do that to hit my prediction. We're right on track.
Yeah.
We're on target for that one, guys. We lost Sean for a second. Hopefully he'll be back. But while we're waiting for that, Wesley, we are going to play the weekly game because I think I made it apparent that I watched the main event. So are we over 1.5 fights, or are we under 1.5 fights that I watched on the last card?
Did you watch the main event?
Yeah, that's the one. That's
the
why
one.
So
he's giving you that little tidbit.
Yeah.
So you made it to the end of the card. You didn't fall asleep. So I'd go over 1.5 this week.
Would you go over 2.5?
No, never. Never.
There were a lot of good sports on Saturday. So
yeah,
we'll say that. But Wes is correct on the 1.5.
Oh,
We'll have to tease out that. We'll have to tease out the last one. Got to keep people listening, because I did watch Peña de Rides, Bodily Destruction of Bo Nickal. That was a fun fight, Dan. Glad to see you. LR, can't be cursing the Canadian teams quite yet. We're only halfway into the second round, not even halfway into the second round.
Just started.
Well, it's good to have that impromptu Dan Tom show not a while back. It was pretty good. Seeing Dan back on the airwaves.
That was the first MMA thing that I've listened to in a while.
Yeah.
You'll be seeing him more because he is taking over the Dogger Pass podcast for the Mayo.
Oh wow, I missed that. Oh,
he just announced it on Twitter. So
hell yeah. I know they was talking about getting who they was, just talking who was gonna replace our boys over there, but that's pretty good. That's not a downgrade at all. Not a downgrade at all.
Yes, sir.
Don't call us if you need a guest.
him and his co-host will be fine. They
do we know who the co-host is? Are we allowed to say that?
Mad Lab MMA. I don't know if you follow him.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
Don't follow, but
anyway, I'm sure, and it's topical. This is topical, like Murphy Brown. Dan Tom actually was one of the people that was like loud about thinking that RDR was gonna beat the brakes off Bo Nickal, and so he did. So good for you, Dan. Sean, what did you think of this delightful fisticuffs?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. We put him in the round robin. Unfortunately, all the other legs lost. We really should have just played him, or even played. I know we talked about maybe doing half on Figgy, half on RDR, but we got greedy and unfortunately we paid for it. But yeah, that was a beatdown. That was very surprising. Just, I guess the thoroughness of the beating. He just manhandled him. He made Bo look like a 170er, and I don't think Bo is a 170er, but RDR is fucking big and he is strong.
I mean, like, he was a champion up weight classes. They're weird weight cutting rules and bullshit, but he was a champion up weight classes in another promotion, so he's a big dude.
Yeah,
that's the guys he beat for those belts are 5 times the fighter, and just 5 times the fighter than Bo Nickal is at this point, and maybe ever will be. We'll see.
Yeah, like I know everybody's talking about Project, and I mean, when the man that's undefeated and a monster favorite and damn near every one of the fights gets smoked like that, maybe that is a bit of a fraud check. But I guess we'll see what comes with Bo. It feels like he has talent, but I don't know. Just not everybody can be an elite MMA fighter, whether that comes to taking punches and knees and stuff like that. But I don't know. From the interview that he did. I saw the quotes and stuff like that. You couldn't pay me to watch or listen to that show anymore, but he did seem humbled. He did seem like he was in good spirits, and he knows that he's got a lot of work to do. So I don't know. A lot of people were completely writing him off. He's still, I think, a decent prospect, even though he's 29. But I guess we'll see. He probably matched up pretty cupcake for the next couple of fights based on the results here.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that some people can't be the nail instead of the hammer, but because that kind of seemed like what happened there, and it was his first time really running into adversity in a fight. So
yep, we
shall see. Wes, your thoughts on old Bo and RDR?
Well, first thing I will say that Oh Mermaid is turned into one of the most cringiest guys on the internet. Like that dude really should put the phone down sometime, because holy shit, bro. He just fucking cringe. Yeah, look, Bo said all the right things. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll give him that. He's saying all the right things. He's showing the humility in a loss and stuff. Like I like to see that. Lined up for cupcakes going forward. Probably should have still been lined up with cupcakes. This guy still ain't but got a handful of fights. Like, we're just in the era now when you get like pumped like that and you got to name your, one of the greatest fucking NCAA wrestlers of all time and shit, you're just gonna get fast tracked. There's just no way around it anymore. But like,
and he didn't even really get that. Like, we've seen guys get fast tracked way more than he was.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough fucking fight, man. That was a tough matchup for Bo, like at that stage of his career. Like, RDR is ridiculous. He's a two-way champion, like a legitimate organization, and beat legitimate guys to win those belts. Like, that was an insanely tough, like, that line was just insane.
A poorly lined fight more than anything.
Yeah, that should have been more of a pick'em fight, like straight up. We don't know how good Bo can be against a guy that, like, I mean, I know he struggled a tiny bit against who it was the Holland fight, right?
Meerkat.
And I mean,
Meerkat, he struggled. He smoked Holland.
That's right. It was the Meerkat fight to where he should, but like that was
his debut as well.
We could all see what happened there. That was debut jitters, and you're supposed to win and shit, but. Look, I'm not writing Bo Nickal off. Like that guy is still one of the greatest NCAA wrestlers of all time. We've seen his hands. He's got power and stuff. I do worry that dude, it was some crazy body shots now. Like, I think that some of that shit folds a lot of guys. I do worry that man took a couple knees and shit and shots to the body and was like crumbled. Like, fucking crumbled. I worry a tiny bit about that, but I think those shots and that knee crumbles a lot of fucking dudes. RDR is very, very good, man. Like, I think people's more underestimating what he was bringing into that fight than thinking Bo Nickal some kind of like fraud or something. We need to put some respect on RDR. That dude is fucking ridiculous. He is a very, very good fighter.
Very true. Yeah, that was a fun one to watch, or an interesting one to watch at the very least.
Fun one.
Rest of the main card, we got to get through this stuff a little bit quicker. D-Rod takes the old pontoon boat out to sea and sinks him in the third round with the knockout. Montel Jackson has really big hands. Not sure if you've heard, and won a unanimous decision over Daniel Marcos. Sergey Sidi, unanimous decision over Cameron. Couldn't smother him, man. And the over 2.5 hits because I watched Mason Jones and Jeremy Stevens. Mason Jones is a coward. Took the coward's way out to get a decision there, but ended up winning a decision. But the first 2 rounds of that fight were fucking fantastic. That was phenomenal stuff. Those were the only ones I watched this week, so don't ask me about anything else. Sean, thoughts on the main card?
Not too much here. Last week we talked about D-Rod and not having much punching power, and I don't know. But I think Bo Nickal is a very, very good fighter. Not too much here. Last week we talked about D-Rod and not having much punching power, and I don't know. But I think Bo Nickal is a very, very good fighter. Not too much here. Last week we talked about D-Rod and not having much punching power, and Yeah, I think it was just kind of more pontoon boat is kind of at the end of the line here. Montel Jackson keeps winning. That's what he does, and yeah, like you said, first 2 rounds, very very fun. But yeah, that'll probably be it for. I know he signed a one fight contract. I guess he goes back to bare knuckle.
How do you not bring him back?
Yeah, give that back. You got to give that
They
man
won't.
another fight.
He signed a one fight contract to fight in
I
Des
would
Moines, Iowa.
rather watch him fight some random scrub at 145 or 155.
Here's the thing. He's gonna make more money.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he's smarter. I think he's smarter than to stay around the UFC than the other way around. He's like, fuck this. I'm going over here and beat up Barstool.
I can make 50K at bare knuckle, whatever I'm doing. Yeah, Wes, main card stuff.
Yeah, man, Pontoon was gonna win a fight until he just gets breathed on, and that man is stumbling all over the place. Chin's gone. Montel Jackson needs to fight. That guy needs to have fights. Like, what's he doing? This dude is wasting a career because he fights once every year, 18 months. Like, get in the cage, bro. Like, he's very good. Smotherman hyped up, and Sleeperman, like, he's just wasn't. Mason Jones, Jeremy Stevens was fucking awesome. I get Mason Jones in the third, like going full fucking blanket on Stevens, but man, those first 2 rounds was fucking fantastic, dude. That was great stuff.
Sure was. The rest of the card, Yana Santos, unanimous decision over Misha Tate. Azamat Bekaev, first round stoppage of Ryan Loder. Jillian Robertson pounds out Marina Rodriguez. That was the last. That and Stevens were the final 2 legs of the round robin. Would take the Stevens bet again. This one, dog shit. Sorry. Kwang Lee, second round sub over Gaston Bolaños. Thomas the Tank Train, whatever, Peterson, unanimous decision over Don't Ask, Don't Tell Mays. Probably the worst fight you've ever seen in your life. I didn't watch it, but I mean, one can assume. And the female Diaz, Julianne Miller, unanimous decision over Ivana Petrov. That's not an MMA fighter. That's a WTA player right there. Sean or Wes, anything on the prelims?
Jillian Robertson might be Canada pound for pound number 1.
Jillian Robertson is Canada pound for pound number 1.
As sad as that is the reality.
I know
they can't get more than 12,000 people in the Bell Center for a card.
I know Ali rolls around in his grave every time Dontel Mays fights, knowing that guy's from the same fucking city. I'll tell you that much.
That under, man, we talked about that. Like, these unders in some of these heavyweight fights are
it should have cashed. It literally should have cashed.
But it didn't.
If Peterson literally like throws extra punch here or there, like
that just means that the next one that we are going to take is going to be even bigger. It's wonderful. You can't lose. We are going to move it along to this week's UFC 315. As we've mentioned, it is taking place in the lovely city of Montreal in La Belle Province, Quebec, Canada. What do we have? 12 fights?
I like that.
I'm at most making it to the 10th fight on this card.
You're going over 1.5 on this card. It's happening.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, the one's guaranteed. You're going to watch all day.
I got one locked in, so I know you'll get another one in there somewhere.
Yeah, probably. We might have to.
The only problem is like after the one guarantee, you're probably done after that. So you're scraping off. You're scraping off 2. You need 1 out of 9. Can we get 1 out of 9?
We'll see. We'll see what we get. But we've got 2 title fights allegedly at the top of the card. As I said, won't be watching, so I can't confirm or deny if those are happening, but we are kicking it off in the bantamweight division. And if I look confused, that's because for a second there was the Azamat Bekaev guy on the last card, and I was like, holy shit, is he fighting again this week? But this is Bezcat.
They just rearranged.
Oh my god. It's like the same dude, but they turned him inside out or something. I don't know. Science is crazy these days with the Jewish space lasers and whatnot. But anyway, he's fighting Brad Katona. It's a bantamweight fight. It's happening. Sean, what do we got?
Not too much. This is, we see these a lot. The Bezcat comes in short notice, drops Umar, and then gets smothered. And then we don't really know what he is. Sometimes those guys come back for the next fight and they just got up for that late notice fight and they're not actually as good as what they showed there, or maybe he is something. A bit concerning that he hasn't fought in over a year after that fight. Like you would think, he comes in short notice against Umar and does okay in a short amount of that fight. And then he just never fights again for the rest of the year. I don't know. I probably pick Katona as the more known commodity, but it's hard to say with these guys.
I wonder if there's something to him fighting in Canada instead of the US. But
I mean, not now. Anybody can get into the US now, especially if you work for Dana White. Like,
that's fair.
I don't think there's many problems getting any guys into the US that they want.
That is very, very true.
He's the Kazakh. He's fine.
They literally flew the Tate brothers over and was at the show chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll get you in.
Wild world that we live in. Yeah. Wes, give me something on this fight.
Yeah, not too much. Sean's kind of right with the bet cat here. Taking a year off is kind of weird. Don't know what he's been doing. You don't really see any kind of like injury line throughs and the shit. So who knows? I know Katona will give an honest fight here. Dude's tough. He's still got decent stand up, man, and stuff. So guy can grapple a little, man. At dog money, it's definitely going to be a pick for me and Tout Master. I don't know if I can talk myself into betting fucking Brad Katona again, but might have to in Canada. I think it's going to be a close fight.
What are we looking at for Katona decision?
Yep, that's what you want to look at for sure.
That is definitely what you want to look at, but my guess is you don't get much.
No, you don't get.
You don't get much extra for that
one. 190 out there. Yeah, you might as well.
I feel like that's a fake 190. But it's like 175. That's no. I'm not gonna watch. I'm gonna pass. I hope that Katona wins, I guess, to sort of get the crowd or what passes for a crowd going a little bit. But then is a Brad Katona win really going to get the crowd going because of how Brad Katona wins? It might just be better for the other dude to knock him out. And hey, if you can drop Umar, you can probably drop Brad Katona. So whatever fun price that would be if you forced me to sit there and watch this fight, I'd take the best cat round 1 TKO to do that thing. 700. Not even worth it. Anyway, we'll move it along. Featherweight division. Jong Young Lee. I probably said that in the wrong order. I apologize. Taking on the Willy Cat, Daniel Santos. Sean?
What are the odds that this fight actually happens? I would not bet on it because Willy Cat seems to never fight, and usually it's his fault that the fights get canceled. When he does fight, he's fun. He's got some skills. It's so hard to know because he always seems to be pulling out for whatever reason it is.
Almost 2 years this guy's been off.
Yep,
what the
almost
fuck?
2 years, and he's had 3 booked fights since, and they all got canceled, and all because of him.
So much fun for those first couple fights that he was in the UFC too.
Yeah, off couple nice back-to-back wins, and then he doesn't fight for 2 years.
So I'll probably take the other fellow just based on that. But, you know, if Willie Cat shows up, he can do damage. It's just hard to rely on someone as injured and sick as this man is.
Wes?
Well, I mean, I have seen the other guy recently, and I watched him get his whole shit fucking fucked up. And I know if he goes in there and he throws down with Willie Cat like that, he's probably going to get his whole shit fucked up again. So I like Willie Cat here. I think if he makes the cage, these dudes are going to fucking throw down. Like this Lee Cat is insane, man. Like that fight with Emil was that was last year. Like that was fight of the year contender. Definitely round of the year contender, because that round was fucking incredible. Yeah, I like Santos here. I think we're gonna see something akin to that. And trust Santos's chin and striking a lot more than Lee's. And I usually don't like to bet unders on little bitty guys like this, but man, under 2.5 at around minus 130 or so, I'm probably going to have to take a little of that, because I think these dudes are going to throw down till somebody falls down.
Wes, I didn't know you knew fancy words like akin.
I know a lot of fancy words. I just have trouble pronouncing them. You know, it's that thick accent that gets in the way.
I'm with you. I was even with you before the words. I like me some Willie Cat here. As you said, if he makes it to the cage, then I like the matchup for him. He's been impressive anytime he's got in there. It's always going to be a firefight, and we've seen that even against lesser competition, that Lee can get got in those type of fights. I think if it turns into a grappling match, that he's probably got a bit of an edge there too. So yeah, he'll be the first bet of the night. He'll be the first thing that I watch in the night. You'll have to stay tuned next week to find out. It won't be. Next up, middleweight division. Marc-Andre Barriault takes on Bruno Silva. This is a middleweight fight. Sean.
Prime.
Bruno Silva's 0-3 in his last 3, and Barriault's 1-6 in his last 7. That's what we're looking at here.
UFC level competition.
Yeah, and they saved Barriault for the Canadian card. Those people in Montreal are lucky. These guys are the ones that they're paying those absorption.
That'd be $600 for a nosebleed to see Marc-Andre Barriault.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, like Barriault coming off 2 first-round knockouts. Scary. Bruno Silva has knocked out a bunch of people, but seems like he's gun shy at this point. Doesn't really throw and gasses. So really it comes down to, does he land that kill shot in the first 2 minutes? Because if he doesn't, then Barriault's going to take over. So I don't know if you look at maybe same game parlaying Barriault in the over 1.5 or something like that. That might be something that interests me, but yeah, it's first couple minutes or bust for Bruno Silva.
Wesley.
Yeah, I like Barriault here. I hope the line can get a little bit better. I'm not going to go out and lay minus 140 on Barriault here, but I do like him in this fight. Just Silva's completely washed, man. That guy won't throw anymore. Like Sean said, gases. When he does start getting tired, you want to talk about not doing shit. That guy will stand there and just stare at you. At least I know Barriault's going to go forward and try to grab a hold of him. He'll work dirty boxing on the cage and shit. So I think Barriault can absolutely win a fight here. I just can't lay minus 140. I'd like to look at Barrio by decision because it's a decent number. I think there's some plus 275 out there, but man, you watch these guys get just completely obliterated nowadays, and even that's tough. Even knowing that neither of these guys are probably going to do a ton in this fight, that decision still worries me. But yeah, lean Barrio. Hopefully the money line comes down a little bit.
Honestly, I don't even hate the money line. Like, if he gets knocked out in the first round, he gets knocked out again.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything like, obviously you don't want to see a guy get knocked out, but I don't think there was anything super concerning about either of those, other than the fact that they happen to also shitty fighters. But as we've said, Bruno Silva doesn't really throw anymore. He's the type of guy that Barrio can walk forward, push against the cage, and hold him there and just work stuff in the clinch and wear him down over the course.
I'm going to see a lot of that, I think.
Yeah, that's the fight I see happening. Like I said, if he gets knocked out early, he gets knocked out. But I don't see it with the last however many years we've watched of Bruno Silva. So Barrio, maybe like some weak late stoppage, but more likely a decision. Don't hate that. What did you say it was? Plus 275, Wes?
Yeah, bet online I think's got a plus 275.
Yeah, don't hate that. Don't hate money line. Actually, probably like the decision more than the money line, if I'm being honest. Silva's pretty tough for as much as he doesn't seem to enjoy being in there. Next up, if you thought it wasn't great enough, it's going to get even greater with Navajo Sterling and Ivan Urslan in the light heavyweight division. That's, yeah, I mean, this dude is, I'll need to see more of him, but he doesn't look like a fella that should be named Navajo. Sean,
he's pretty fail.
If you go to Sherdog and his name, he was born Rongo de Hangia, Navajo Hunter Sterling.
Okay.
So he might be from the real Outback.
Yeah, he's one of those.
He's not Outback. That's
sorry.
That's
yeah.
Maori.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right.
It might be.
He's just got he's the albino Maori from now on.
I got nothing. This is terrible.
Wes?
Yeah, I have nothing on this fight. Navajo the pick. He's better, but I want nothing to do with this fight.
I had not heard of either of these guys until about 45 seconds ago when I scrolled up on the page. So I'm not going to pretend like I did. Have heard of these next two light heavyweights, though. The old cute labia and the modest bukkake. I mean, boys, what are we doing here?
Fucking sponsored by OnlyFans on this one.
Is Joe Silva the matchmaker again? He's doing the nickname thing, but he's really a fan of the podcast. We see you, Joe. All right. Sean, what do you got here?
Yeah, this has been a long time coming. This took way too long to match these boys up, but yeah, cute labia. I mean, he's kind of changed his style. I would look at him and the over 1.5 in a same game parlay. You get plus 240. I think there's a decent chance this could go some minutes, especially with the cute labia just grappling now. That seems like a decent price for what I tend to agree that the fight's going to go over 1.5. So that's what I'll go with. The bukkake is, I still don't think he's very good. Cute labia is not good either, but I think cute labia can get some takedowns.
Question for you. Do you think that your predilection to the same game parlays in MMA helps you not get limited because books just love people that play same game parlays?
It's not a bad idea to throw those in every once in a while, that's for sure.
You know what I like to do on 365 since I've just been hammering them on LAX and hockey and shit is all the boost I get for the same game parlays. I play every single one of
Take them all.
All the NBA wins, all the MLB wins, and all of them I get. I always play them. At least throw 50, $100 on them just to do it, and still haven't been limited. And I've hit them pretty hard over the past
$25 maxes for those.
Yeah, $20.
They give I think they give me 40 sometimes, but I can usually get 50 on them most of the time.
And I was rolling with 80 for a while, and then now it's been 20.
Well, any of the bonus, like when they give you like the bet
Super
boost, $15. That's all I can get on those now. Yeah, it's done.
That'll fluctuate, like it'll come back up at some point, but yeah, for a while, especially if you don't take all of them, if you just hit the ones that you actually
really like, yeah.
Yep. And they're like, hey, no, we're not playing that shit. Anyway, this fantastic fight. It's not, but funny fight. It is, and should be. I think Labia gets the first takedown. And then I'm kind of not sure what happens after that. It could be one of those fights where he ends up with like 9 takedowns because he just like keeps scooping him back up and dumping him and can't hold him down. Or he might stand back up once and separate, and then Labia is just like lost the rest of the time, just confused at what to do in there, which we see from time to time with that dude. So I don't have anything in this fight. I think it's going to be kind of a hilarious fight. So I might tune in for this one. This is like getting close to the top of the prelims too, where like I'm probably flipping between channels on the sports and whatnot. So I think we might be heading towards a number 2 for our over. So we're definitely going to set it at 2.5 for the next show. Next up,
Wes, did you touch this fight? I don't know if you did or not.
I think we got lost in the sauce there. Sorry, Wes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I pretty much kind of agree with Sean on this one. I link you, Labia. I kind of like the over. I think there's some 140 out there. It's a little juicy. I do lean that way, but I think like Brad said, I think if Labia gets a takedown though, like for the round, I think he's got it. It's just can the Mariusz Bukkake like fight off that side choke that Labia loves to get on guys? I think he can. Like he's not some scrub off his back on the ground. So I think this gets over 1.5. I link Labia, but I kind of like the over.
There we go. My apologies, sir. Women's flyweight division up next. Canada pound for pound number 3. Jasmine Jasudavicius taking on former title holder at 2 weight classes. I think so. That sounds right. Jessica Andrade. No, just
only one. Only one.
Yeah, whatever. She fought it too.
3 years younger than the up and coming.
You can just say whatever you want these days, people, Sean. nobody fact checks you. You can.
That's right.
Anyway, this is like kind of a good women's fight. Cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, it should be good. I hate seeing Andrade at 125. She seems to be so much better at 115 just because her physicality is leaps and bounds better or more than most of the women she fights. That kind of gets canceled out at 125. And in this matchup, she's going against a fairly physical fighter who wants to grapple. I think Jasudavicius can probably get some takedowns. And then it kind of takes Andrade out of her game because she needs to box for the most part because her grappling is kind of only elite at 115. So I kind of get it. The number is wide. I'm always a sucker to bet Andrade by KO, because I think that's usually her path to victory in matchup like this. But it's plus 550 at some books. That's not terrible. Jazz Vicious probably gets a win here, but maybe I'll get bored and toss a couple bucks on the Andrade KO just for the shits and gigs.
Wesley.
Yeah, the up and comer here, who's 3 years older than Andrade, and is like 36 or something now. She should win this fight. Like, she has a legitimate path to winning this fight. But man, you're gonna give me Jessica Andrade at plus 270 against like almost any female fighter, but one that's like fringe top 10 fucking 36-year-old Canadian. Like, holy shit, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna take some of that. Can she like grapple Andrade and win a shitty decision here? Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. But you're giving me a price like that. I watched Tracy Cortez beat this chick. If Tracy Cortez can beat this chick even just a few years ago, Andrade could land something here and look really smart sitting on a plus 270 ticket. So I'll take a little bit of that, but fully expect that Jazz Vicious here just lays and praise on Andrade. Hopefully Andrade can just fight off a couple of those early takedowns, and then this fight gets very interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Wes here. I think that even though the physicality isn't as emphatic as it is at 115, like it still plays a role, and it's something that Jazz Vicious really hasn't faced a lot of. Like, catch a beating. I don't even know what Fatima Klein is, Ariane Lipski. Like, she's not facing physically dominant fighters. So I think even just being able to get in there on some of those takedown defenses or those takedown attempts and pummel and push off from the clinch and throw some shit on the exit will be a little bit of a different look for Jasmine. So plus 270, is that what we're looking at here, Wes?
Whew, that's kind of wild, man.
It's a big number. That's a real big number. Like, I know we're getting up there with Andrade, and she's lost a lot of fights to like mostly very good fighters. I don't think she's lost a lot of fights, nor does she look like she's going to lose a lot of fights to people that are outside of the top 10, that sort of range, which is kind of where I think that Jazz Vicious has peaked, especially as you said, a 36-year-old prospect on the rise. What is this, Shane Carwin? Back in like 2010? Anyway, we're going to take a little shot on Jessica Andrade and keep it moving along with a possible shot at redemption for Canadians. Mike Malott, I don't know where he stands in the pound-for-pound rankings, but it's pretty telling that once you get up to the main card, there's only 2 Canadians on it, and both of them are very much the B-sides of their fights. Anyway, Mike Malott's taking on, what's this dude's nickname? Buffalo Chuck?
Buffalo Chuck.
Is he even from Buffalo?
No way. Now
we just need to know him as the racist. That's all we need to know.
That man's got to be from some southern fucking shit town.
From Illinois.
He is from
Illinois.
Chicago, allegedly.
Yeah, there's parts of Illinois might as well be Mississippi. It's the same shit. There's parts.
Anything 30 minutes outside of Chicago.
Anything 30 minutes outside any city in this country, you got fucking wildness.
That is fair. Sean, what are we thinking here with Malott and racist Radke?
So Malott obviously, that's beautiful. Malott obviously fell apart against Magny. He was winning fairly easily and then gassed out and got just ground and pounded out.
Magny Meadow.
He bounced back against Giles, but I kind of thought he would do a bit more against Giles. Like, for the most part, Giles is somewhat durable, but like a lot of guys have finished. A lot of good guys have finished Giles, and Malott wasn't really close to doing it. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Is he a hyped up Canadian? I know he is trying to be the young. Of course he is. He's trying to be. But he's not super young either. He's born in '91. Like he's
32.
Yeah, like,
he's as old as Jessica Andrade. He's fucking ancient.
There's a lot of 30-something-year-old prospects coming out of Canada, man. Like
they're really trying to sell this dude as young up and coming, but he's not really that. So, I mean, at this point, like I think he is what he is. He doesn't have a ton of fights, but I don't know, man. If you're falling apart at this age, I don't know. Are you really going to fix that? Now, I do think he is better than Radke. I think this is a decent stylistic matchup for him and kind of a setup fight. But I don't think I can get to the point where I could bet Mike Malott. Just too many red flags and the age that he's at. I just don't see him just taking a bunch of leaps and leaps forward with his ability at this point.
Wesley, you got to have more faith in Canada than Sean does, right?
No. I mean, I kind of feel the same way. Like if Malott just doesn't get clipped by Radke, who's going to just throw bombs at him, he should style on Radke. But man, I can't lay any fucking price like this on Mike fucking Malott. Yeah, the only thing like I was looking at in this fight was I kind of like the under 2.5 more than a 1.5, but it's kind of juicy. Don't know if I want to lay that either. Maybe fight doesn't start round 3 or something. I just think Radke's either going to clip him or he's going to get tired, and Malott will style on him, probably get a takedown, could get a sub here. So, yeah, Malott's the pick, but it's hard to really find anything on this that I like.
I feel like several years ago in my gambling journey, Malott would be the type of guy that I would definitely throw into a parlay. Just be like, yeah, this guy's going to win. I still feel that way. I'm just not going to bet it now. I get what you guys are saying, but I think Malott is more than good enough to avoid getting clipped by the shit that Buffalo throws. I don't think I've seen the guy throwing a clean punch in the entirety of his UFC career. So he throws hard, he swangs, he bangs, but I think that's not quite enough against a guy in Malott who's actually like pretty decently skilled. And then I don't think you run the risk later on in the fight of him falling apart and getting Magny-Medoved, as so many have done over the years. That was the headliner of the prelims, allegedly, because we're on the main card now. We're in the lightweight division. We got the big swinging Denis taking on Kyle Prepolek. Is this like one of those battleground fight cards or whatever that happens over in BC, Sean? Like what's going on here?
That's where this was supposed to be a good fight. It was supposed to be Joel Alvarez versus Big Swinging Denis, and
that Canada would have been tremendous.
That would have been one of the best fights on the entire card.
Canada can't have nice things, so instead we get the Prophylactic taking on the Big Swinging Denis. Prophylactic has been just beating scrubs on the Canadian regional scene, not fighting over like basically once a year. BSD should absolutely run through this guy. I don't know if there'll be a way to bet this. probably not, considering he's a -1,000 favorite. So yeah, I guess we'll just see a guy absolutely pulverize a Canadian.
Yeah, Wes, thoughts?
I'm gonna wait and see what fight starts round 2 is.
I mean, the under 1.5 is plus 150, or sorry, minus
overs
180.
Yeah,
the over plus 150. So you're probably looking at,
even money,
maybe a little bit of juice.
Yeah. Yep. If it's got a plus number in front of it, I'm gonna take some fight starts round 2. I just think like we know what BSD is gonna do, but like new opponent, very short notice, he might start a little bit slow. I don't think his kid's gonna want to get fucking absolutely steamrolled in front of his people. So I think we see a kind of slow start to the fight, and then Denis gets going and gets a takedown and some nasty ground and pound sometime in the second. So kind of like fight starts round 2.
Lost decisions to like all of the UFC, or like went to decision with all of the UFC guys that he's fought in the past. So
he's tough. He's not gonna quit. Yeah.
Interesting note. The most recent opponent on his resume, Gustavo Wurlitzer. I think that might be the most my ancestors were Nazis and emigrated to Argentina name of all time.
Right.
Oh, 100%.
Right. Oh shit.
Anyway, yeah, that's all I've got on that fight, because like it's what it is. Next up, women's flyweight division, Alexa Grasso taking on former champion Alexa Grasso, taking on definitely future champion Natalia Silva, because she's won several fights in a row at this point. Not even just a few. She's unstoppable, Sean. She's definitely going to be the champ, right?
I don't think so, because I think she's going to lose on Saturday. This number is quite dumb. I guess Silva has the hype. I mean, I'm probably the wrong guy to ask, because I've been fading her the last couple fights. Obviously, it didn't look great in the Jessica Andrade fight, but honestly, I thought she lost the Viviane Araújo fight. There was a decent amount of MMA media that had it for Araújo. This is a matchup where Grasso's going to be able to strike, and there's not many women in this weight class that can hang with her when she can strike, and she might even be able to mix in some takedowns. So this is a wide line, and I think we got a big dog here.
Wesley.
Yeah, unless you think this chick is absolutely a future champion, this line is fucking stupid. Like, Grasso was just a champ. She beat the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Went draw, beat her. However you feel about that decision, that it was debatable, but she was in like 3 fights with Shevchenko. I mean, look, Silva can strike, but she doesn't have the pop that Grasso has. Like, if this gets along the cage and stuff, that's all Grasso. If this gets grappling, like, I see Grasso on top, like controlling. Like, I don't know. I think there's just a lot to like in this matchup for Grasso, and you're getting her at a 2-to-1 price. That's wild to me. I like Grasso quite a bit in this fight.
This opened as a pick'em, by the way.
Silva's that's hype. That's hype movement. That's literally just hype movement. What are you looking at? That's just all hype, bro.
I know that there's been you definitely can see some market manipulation going on with these bet online overs in certain fights in the last little while. They steam these openers that have fairly low limits, and especially if you got a pretty fun account. If you have a good account, they can move pretty quickly. And then once the limits open up, and at other shops that actually will take a decent bet, that the money comes back in the other way. I don't know if that is the case. Doesn't look like money's coming in at this point, but just in case you might want to lock in if you like Grasso pretty soon, in case that's what's happening here.
MMA lines being fucking never, dog. Not in this game.
Hey, in MMA, we just bang cunts, all right? We don't modest bukkake some cute labia. That's not the way that it works.
We called James Krause and tell him to get the crowbar out. You know what I'm saying? Bring that crowbar to the gym today, James. Get your guy ready. Let us know.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, Silva has looked pretty good on the feet. She's active. She's, I guess, stopped a couple people. One of them was like the broken arm thing, and the other one was some random Eastern European chick that they pulled off Contender Series. I don't, aside from that, like, she's been in there with competent fighters, good against Andrade last time out, but she never looked like she was in danger of running away with that fight or like hurting Andrade at any point. Like that, this is one more step up where she's actually going to be facing a fighter that's active across the cage from her, can do a few more things, is willing to do a few more things in the cage or switch it up if something isn't working for her. Honestly, the only way that I could really like Grasso more at 200 or higher is if this was a 5-round fight, because she's been in a bunch of those and Silva hasn't, so gives her a little bit more time to figure it out. But yeah, we're going to take Alexa Grasso here. And this is not a common occurrence. We'll try not to repeat it too much in the future. But Alexa Grasso is going to be the consensus bet of the week this week, folks. What are we going to say? Plus 215? Sean?
You betcha. You can get 20 grand right now at plus 215 at the old Bet Online.
Ooh. Damn right. I'm not going to put quite that much, but you know, we bet what we bet. Next up, bantamweight division, and like, I don't know. Once we get to the end of the prelims, even if I even get to the end of the prelims, we might not find a stream until Wes can lock in that like third or fourth one that's working real good. Because I don't care about the first two fights on the main card. But the only reason that I even took a genuine look at UFC Montreal tickets and decided they were not for me is because Jose Aldo is fighting on this card. And that's one of the greatest fighters of all time. He is taking on Firas Zahabi's brother, who is yet again one of the up-and-coming Canadian prospects at the ripe young age of 37. Sean, this man is just coming into his prime. He's going to represent for Canada, right?
I don't understand Zahabi. I think he's had some luck go in his way. I bet against him in Munoz fight. Surprised me. I think Munoz is kind of over the hill at this point and is just not able to kind of put things together at this point in his career. The Basharat fight was quite surprising. Basharat obviously had a good first round and then just kind of fell apart, and Zahabi was able to throw a couple strikes and win a couple rounds there. So I don't know if you've seen this, but Aldo is quite pissed about the results of his last fight.
As
he should be. He's a guy that doesn't really, he usually takes his losses as well as you can take them, but he rightfully is pissed, and I think he's going to come out and make a statement. He is still very fucking good, especially in this weight class. I know he's 38 years old, but he's fighting a 37-year-old now. Of course, he has quite a bit more damage in that he has taken in his career, but the athleticism difference here, the experience difference, the power difference, I think is kind of all Jose Aldo. So I think I might play him straight. I might put him in a parlay. I want to lose some more money to Ayman Zahabi.
Wes,
man, just think about that. We're getting fucking Aldo against Ayman Zahabi under 2-1. Like, that just doesn't seem possible to me. Look, Aldo should be sitting on a pretty couple back-to-back wins against some very good prospects who were like having very good wins, moving up the fucking rankings, knocking on a couple off of like maybe getting another big fight. I think that's why Aldo's really pissed about that shitty fight. One of the worst decisions, no bullshit. One of the worst decisions you will ever see. I think Aldo's very mad that like that could cost him some big fights. Now he's fighting Ayman fucking Zahabi up in Montreal. I think Aldo is going to do very bad things to this guy. Like Brad said, dude is 37 years old. He ain't some fucking kid prospect or something. Like the talent level difference here is just astounding to me, man. Aldo under 2-1. I'm laying it. I'm going to play Aldo straight, probably fairly large. And I think Brad had talked about it. I don't mind the KO because I see some fucking vintage Aldo body work in this fight. Zahabi's a taller, lankier motherfucker, keeps his guard up. That body is there to be had. And I think Aldo is going to snatch some fucking ribs in this fight. So that Aldo KO is like plus 550 or something too. I don't mind that at all. I love Aldo in this fight.
Yeah. I'm right there with you guys. No surprise to anyone, but you've got Jose Aldo against a guy who is like a relatively slow-paced distance striker who's 37 and has never beaten anybody particularly good. I guess the Pedro Munoz win that's by far his best win, right?
Man, he is washed. Like Pedro Munoz looks.
I was gonna say Aldo beat him more convincingly 4 years ago. And which I realize means that Aldo was 4 years younger as well, but like
Munoz also lost the third round too there.
It's just like I don't see how this matches up well for him. Aldo struggles, even at this advanced age of his career, only struggles against guys that are either the most insane grappler that you've ever seen and can hold you against the cage and fail takedowns for 15 straight minutes, or dudes like Peter Yan and Max Holloway that can just absolutely overwhelm you with pace. And
you better have a tank. Yeah, you better have a fucking gas tank to push Aldo to that limit to get him to even 3 rounds is just different.
Yeah. So I like Aldo here. I took a half on the TKO at plus 550 because I think that, as Wes outlined, lanky dude, that Dutch combo is open for him. He loves to hit it. And he's against a guy that's going to leave him a lot of openings with the high guard and everything that Zahabi does, just, kind of countering or like trying to jump in from space or or waiting on Aldo, which is a terrible idea for him in this fight because Aldo's way faster. But like I don't see it. It's minus 200. I feel like it's way too low at that price. So there's going to be some Aldo involved in a bunch of stuff coming this weekend. So that's going to be fun. Co-main event, women's flyweight division. Valentina, the defending champion, as the underdog to Manon Fiorot. Sean.
I know Fioreau's got some hype. She showed, good striking for this division, good takedown defense for the most part.
Look at that score, Brad.
But I have a hard time seeing Shevchenko as an underdog. Fioreau's going to have to kind of prove it to me. Shevchenko is kind of the craftiest grappler in this weight class. She kind of finds a way, and her striking is pretty damn good as well. So Shevchenko's is obviously the full package. So we'll see if Fiorot is just elite and is able to beat an all-time great.
Wesley.
Yeah, I feel like this is absolutely a prove it fight. You're getting an all-time great here at dog money against somebody that's definitely good, but man, like I feel like Shevchenko is going to have to make like a really bad mistake in this fight to lose. Sort of like the Grasso fight where she ended up giving her back up at some point or something like that. I think that's what it's going to take because, man, just the striking's so tight and technical. She doesn't make mistakes on the feet where she's going to get cracked. I think Old Man on Fire wants to be inside and like grabbing and grappling more. And I just don't think that's very good against Shevchenko, man. I think Shevchenko could end up on top a lot in this fight. If she does, like her control's crazy. You're just not getting up off your back. If she's on top of you, she's going to steal rounds. So I think she's got to make just a bad mistake in a couple rounds for her to lose this fight. And you're getting plus money. So just an absolutely gotta show me, gotta prove it to me fight. I'll be taking a little Shevchenko.
Years and years ago, I did like some article on champions as dogs going into title defenses, and they won like 70% of the time in those fights. I haven't updated that in probably a decade, so not sure how relevant that is, but it's more of the mindset thing when people have just sort of gotten tired of a champion or something, because again, this is a case where it's not like it's some young hot shit prospect that's coming up. Manon Fiorot's 35 years old. And you might think that Shevchenko's over the hill at 37, but her 37 has a lot more fights with a lot more success against a lot more high-level fighters.
Rarely any damage,
like ever faced. Yeah.
So, rarely any damage in all those fights.
Exactly. Like maybe there's a bit more physicality on Fiorot's side, and she can lock her up in the clinch and push her against the cage a little bit and control some of those exchanges and grind her out a bit. But like, does that make you the favorite in a fight? I don't think so. So I like Shevchenko here. Do I want to bet it? I don't want to bet it. Should I bet it? Probably. Am I going to be awake for it? Definitely not. If I am awake for it, will I make it through to the final bell? Hell no. But I think that Valentina Shevchenko has to be the pick here. I really don't understand the lines in the women's fights on this card. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, if you're going to be on anything, Like, probably just play the 3 women's dogs blindly, and I think you're coming out with some money on the card. Main event time. Welterweight division. This is what the people came to see. All 7,000 of them in attendance. Belal Muhammad, Jack Della Maddalena. Doesn't get more Montreal than that, Sean. Give it to me.
This, I don't know why the line is so short on Belal. I don't know if just people hate him or what the deal is, which, I mean, I get it. He's boring as fuck, but he also can win lots of fights and has a style that, you know, minimizes crazy results for the most part, which is who you generally want to bet on. That's why GSP, obviously, he was a very skilled fighter, but he also fought very intelligently. It was able to dictate where the fight, you know, took place. You see a bit of that with Belal. The price was, you know, a little more reasonable until recently. It was, you know, minus 240, minus 250. And I don't know if some tout tipped old JDM or what, but a ton of money has come in on him. And I just don't get it. JDM was getting out-grappled by Gilbert Burns, was easily losing that fight. He was down 2-0 on 2 of the judges' scorecards, and he was losing that third until he landed the Hail Mary knee. Props to him. I lost money on that fight. Fair enough. But if you're getting out-grappled by Gilbert Burns at 170, Belal Muhammad is going to be a real tough fight for you. So I'm probably going to lay it for a couple units on Belal. I think he does what he does best, grinds on this dude, wears him out. I doubt he gets a finish, but he should win a fairly wide decision.
Wesley, is it all halal for Belal?
Holla, 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 holla. I love Belal in this fight, man. I think this is, we're gonna look back and be hindsight and like, holy fuck, we got a gift here. Like Sean hit it his very last fight. Like, dude's getting out grappled and losing to Gilbert Burns. Like, what the fuck do you think Belal's gonna do? And like, I know JDM's stand up is fun and shit and stuff, but like, Belal has gotten really fucking good at striking, man. He doesn't take big shots. He can land big stuff. And then the main thing is outside of Belal's like iron fucking chin. Like, what is going to happen if this gets to the third, the fourth, the fifth? Like, we've seen JDM literally like slow badly in fights and lose late rounds. I just think this is all shaped up for Belal to style out here. I don't know if he gets a finish, but wouldn't be shocked if he does get a later round finish after beating on JDM for fucking 20 minutes. So I'm laying it on Belal. I think there's like some 168, 170 out there. I'm just gonna lay it, man. I think he wins this fight fairly easy, dude. I always hate to say that in MMA, but man, this is a great matchup for him. Most of them are in this weight class. Guys like Leon Edwards and JDM and shit, those are horrible matchups against Belal Muhammad, man. Yeah, really like him in this fight.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, as you're talking, I'm going through JDM's record. I'm just like, did he out-grapple that guy? Nope. Did he out-grapple that guy? Nope. Oh, he got out-grappled by Basil Half-Ass? Oh, okay. Yeah, like, I don't see how this goes well for him, because not only has Belal, like, okay, Belal's boring. Yeah, we get it. Nobody wants to watch him fight. Yeah, we get it. I'm not going to watch him fight. Cool. But he has improved his striking, but with a specific focus on making sure that his striking sets up what he actually does well, which is just like absolutely wearing on dudes. And he's the type of guy that his style is boring, and it gets even more boring over 5 rounds, but it gets way more effective over 5 rounds as well.
And he doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck what you think. He does not care.
Why would he? So like
in general, like he doesn't care that people talk about how he's boring and his grappling. He doesn't give a fuck. He will do that shit all night long.
You know what? He's probably happier now that people are complaining about how boring he is than like when he first came into the UFC and people were just complaining that he was a Muslim. So like he's like, yeah, this is a step up for me.
Yep.
Now they hate me instead of just being racist. So it's cool. It's not like the crowd in Montreal is going to be going nuts for Della Maddalena and for the fight to get stood back up every 5 seconds or anything like that. So, yeah, I just see this as Belal, first 2 rounds might be him slowly closing the distance. But you'll get to round 4 of round 1 and he'll find his way into a takedown, and then round 3 of round 2 and he'll find his way into a takedown, and then it's just going to be like immediately after that for the rest of the fight. It probably will get that long because Maddalena is a capable grappler, I guess, and Belal's not going to try and finish anybody. So we're probably going to a Belal decision. And what's the price on Belal and Aldo? Just toss those 2 dudes together, nice, and I think that makes you some money on this card. I would say it's the chalkiest shit that you can think of, but apparently everybody disagrees. It's not that chalky, so we're gonna do that. Do we have anything else going on? I mean, there's everything going on. The
real sports
playoffs, the hoop playoffs. Wes, I did see that halftime score as well.
They showed back up tonight.
Yeah, Jokic is on pace for like 30, 20, and 15, and they're still getting blown out by 30. That's fun.
When's our LAX playoffs get into full swing, or their tournament or whatever? Saturday. This weekend, right? Yeah, let's go.
These are the 2 like where it goes 12-2, 4-6, or like 12-2-30, 5-7-30 days in a row.
Quads.
Love it.
Yeah. So we'll have some games to bet on and some stuff for me to watch instead of watching some shitty UFC prelims. So that's good. The puck is always wonderful this time of year, as you folks know.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing this season so far.
I feel like it's stepped back up this season. The first couple
we've
rounds,
seen some ridiculous shit this year.
Yep. Yeah, it's been crazy, man. Just the first round, the whole Edmonton literally lose 2 games here. People, I mean, even us are like, God damn, they're bad. It looks bad. And then like 4 in a row, just
Undertaker
smacking people. Yeah, it's been good, man. It has.
And now they're playing the best hockey you've ever seen.
Yeah, they
look
ridiculous again
of the game.
Well, it's like everybody's. I see just the hockey people, the couple of hockey people I follow. It's like, you can be shitty and missing all these guys and stuff, but when you're still rolling out the 2 best players probably on the planet, like you got a shot. Now they're getting guys back. It's fun stuff. Still need a keeper though. Like I don't.
Well, forever.
Watching some of that shit is just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, but you get to cash some overs, Wes, some live overs, so you can't get too mad.
That first series, holy shit, man! There was a couple nights there that it was like I couldn't hit it in fast enough, and they were just cashing. You couldn't get the next one in quick enough, and it was like 2 more goals. 2 more goals, like fuck. that shit's fun. Like watching hockey games like that. I don't think like some older, would I take some older like fans and shit like that kind of stuff. They'd rather see your 2-1 hockey type. Fuck that. Give us some fucking
That's
6-5.
weird though, because like the games that they grew up on were like
more high scoring,
classic like Gretzky games that were like 8-4 and like 8-5 and just stupid shit like that. So, oh well.
Yeah.
What can you do? Yeah, I think there's a card next week. Yeah,
absolute
that. So
back in the
next
warehouse
week is our first kind of like spring, summer long weekend up here in Canada. So normally this would be the weekend where I miss my first Toutmaster picks, but I'm long gone this year.
Yeah, I've crashed. I've
pulled the chute hard. But yeah, we've got Gilbert Burns, who we talked about earlier, taking on Michael Morales.
Berju back.
Berju co-main.
Berju, Paul Craig, and then a bunch of other shit. Anyway, I'm going to be up at the card, and I almost certainly will hit the under 0.5 on that one. But we'll have to see where we stand in this coming week. We got to support Canada after. We'll see you next week.